Okay, so now our final step for this project, we need to create the simple interface to call this multiple method. So for that we will create one separate file. Let us give the name like main UI, or main also is fine. Okay, so let me repeat what we did till now. The first we created one method which is called one file LLM engine. Okay, so this is our main file. So from this file we will get that call LLM function, right, and we'll get our simple text to SQL result. Okay, SQL command. And after that we created other one method which is called DB underscore handler. Okay, in this method what we did, we will create the connection of our database. Okay, in our case we use the Parquet file where we have more than 3 million record, and we just tested SQL command what we return from this call me function, and we'll just see the output. Okay, our output same like what we execute the SQL query in any other platform. So this is here we have one method, and the third one we created voice input method. So in this method what we did, we created 3 methods, but here we are using only 2. Okay, so the first method is we are capturing audio as a speech. Okay, and that audio we will convert into text. Okay, and that text we need to pass in our LLM module. We will do this one in this interface, and LLM will return SQL command, and that SQL command we will execute on our database. Okay, so this is one method we use, and in same file we created text to speech also. So this is like we can say in phase 2 we will cover this one, text to speech method I already created. So what we did here, like if we pass here our output as a text, for example 3 million writes in 2024, this output we received from our LLM, our database. So that one we will convert into speech. Okay, that we will do it later, but at the moment we will use first 2 only. So let us start this one. So for creating simple interface I am using here Streamlit. So Streamlit is very powerful framework. You can create very quickly the user interface. Okay, but apart from Streamlit, if you want, you can create your interface in React or Power Apps or C# with HTML or ASP.NET. Okay, or any mobile app. Okay, well, as per your expertise you can create here, but for our case we are using Streamlit here. So let us see what code we need to write. Import this all method here. So the first one is, as we mentioned, LLM engine. From LLM engine we need to import one method call me. Okay, and from DB handler we need to call run SQL command on Spark, and from voice input transcription we need to import 2 methods here, right? So the first one is capture microphone input as a MP3, and this speech we need to convert as a text. Okay, and our main interface method we need to import Streamlit as st. Okay, so before using this Streamlit to st we need to import it, we need to install. So we will write pip install Streamlit. Okay, I already installed this one, so I just write here. Okay, for future reference. Okay, and if we want to put the title we need to write simply like st.title. Okay, so I just copy code from other one file. So this is our title, AI SQL assistant powered by Azure AI Foundry, and I put the subtitle also as a natural language to SQL voice text. Okay, then if you can see here we just define one path, audio or output path. So this path we define as a hardcoded only initially, so test.mp3. Okay, so this file will save as a whatever the voice we are giving, it will save as a test.mp3. Then we initialize the session state variable called a voice query, and this help us to remember the voice input throughout the session. Okay, so if not session, it create a blank only. Okay, otherwise it will save our session. Then we created one radio button, so user can choose how they want to ask their question, either by typing or by speaking. So if the user is selected the text one, the first one, if you can see here, the text area, this text area, okay, in ST there is one method st.text area will appear, and where they can enter their question manually. So let us run this code and see how it looks like. So now for Streamlit related code, if we want to execute, we need to write like this: Streamlit run and our file name. You see it is in process only. If you see this symbol, okay, so this is simple or output what we receive right now. So initially now we just use the text only. So if we write any text here, okay, then after once it is written here, we will see one button here. So let us write the other codes for generating button and also for output. So I just copy the code, I'm just pasting here. So let me simply explain this code, what happened here. So if in radio button we selected user query, so if we selected user query, if it is yes, then submit button is appear. So st.button, it will create one submit button, and it shows the spinner also by using st.spinner method, and we can see this message generating SQL something. So here we are calling our call me function powered by Azure AI, okay, and this function will return our natural language to SQL query. So here we will get the SQL query, and once we receive the SQL query, this generated SQL query is then displayed on the screen for transparency. We are just displaying this SQL query. If you are developer, if you are DBA, this is also useful to write any SQL query automatically using your own natural language. Next, again one spinner we created here. So we saw this spinner while fetching result from the database. So this is our run SQL command on Spark method, and here we are passing our SQL query, and whatever the result we will receive here, it will store in this result df, result underscore df. And if we don't have any result, okay, if it is none, then we'll show some warning. But if we have data, then we need to display something, and I created one more method which is called plot chart. So this method will return the visualization part and some text also. So let us execute this code and we'll see how it looks like. If you can see the last one, okay, before executing this one, finally here you see I just imported warning module. So we suppress any non-critical warning message such as those about the date time or something, okay, and let us execute this code. Okay, so let us write simple like total rides in 2024 July month, okay, or we can put for simple first this message in 2024 only. So this query is generated from our Azure Foundry LLM, okay. So our this natural language is converted into text SQL command, and this one we are executing in our local database or our secure database. And here we can see result, this is 30,76,900. So system is returning this result, total this many rows we have, and here there is no any graph. So for generating the graph we need to write something where we have more than one rows record. So top 10 highest amount by 2024. Let us write like this. So this will generate the query where we have highest 10 record. If you can see this query, okay, and these are the result, okay. These 10 records we have highest amount in 2024, and if we just scroll down we can see some different graph also. So I just copy voice related code here and I'm just pasting here. So from else if till this voice query, this code is related to voice, okay. So what happened here, when user select the option voice mode, we present a section called voice input, okay. So this section is available. This is a radio button only, right? Hope you remember. So when we select voice, it will appear this one only, and when the user click the starting recording button, the application begin recording using our microphone. A spinner is appear here, and when the message recording speak now, appear, at that time we need to speak, and we can speak up to 50 seconds. So based on our requirement we can change this one. We also added like 1 second sleeping mode here, and then if everything goes well, then our audio is saved in this path. So this path we already defined test.mp3, so it is saved here, and application show the success message. And if you want, you can play back and see and confirm. If it is like development mode, you can do this one. Next we use the group power app transcription tool method here to convert our voice to text, and our spoken word is converted into text here. And once it is done, the application store the voice in query memory and display the clear message here. So I just redefine the name as a voice query only here, and if we can see here, this is the voice query. Once we have something in voice query, I just store again this one in user query, so no need to return the code again. So same method we are using here also, user query, and for text also we are using user query only. So in this case our final result will store in user query, and again the same code will execute. Like if it is user query, if we have data, the button is appeared here, the submit button, and when we click the submit button, it will generate the SQL command using our call LLM method, and then it will display the result. So let us execute and see how it looks like. So let us select voice. Total rides in 2024. Total rides in 2024. We can paste also here. Total rides in 2024. And once it is done, we need to press this submit button. So it is fetching data from more than 3 million record. So we can see here this one. This is 3,076,900 records. It is coming from our database. Let us try to execute other one command. Total daily tips in 2024 July month. Okay, this time I give some bigger message. So what I spoke, the total daily tips in 2024 July month. Okay, so let us see what SQL script is generated here. Great. So here we can see it is generated. This is for July month condition, and how much the tips we generated we can see here. Here I just put top 10 only, so that's why in my code top 10 there. So that's why we see only top 10 records, and total tips how many, and the date wise we can see the result, and even we can see the graph also. So this application is very useful not only for the developer or like any other user, but especially if the top management, like the executive level, if they want to know some confidential detail from their database instead of asking any developer, because if we ask any developer, definitely he will also come to know what we are asking. So there is no like data governance here. So some confidential detail we can directly ask this system instead of asking any third person, and we'll get the result directly. Thank you so much.